one of my favorite eras of hip-hop. We're talking the whole landscape of hip-hop changes. Everyone is debating the big three of the next generation. So before I get to the control verse, let me briefly introduce him to these artists. Now first, let's start off with Kendrick Lamar. Product of Compton, California, got signed to TDE. Shout out to Top Dog, by the way. Kendrick Lamar started getting his notoriety when he dropped his overly dedicated mixtape in his Section 80 album. But then he gets signed to Dr. Dre, drops his Good Kid, Mad City album, which is an absolute classic. It is literally still on the Billboard 200 to this day. Next, we got J. Cole. In 2007, he graduated from St. John University in New York, and he dropped his Come Up album. Sometime after that, he ran to Jay-Z, tried to give him an album, and Jay-Z said, fuck no. It's kind of crazy. But Jay-Z in 2009 eventually signed him after hearing the Billmatic song, brought him on to Rock Nation, and the rest is history. Third, we got Drake from Toronto, Canada. Now, his career started earlier than everybody else because in 2001, he was on the show Degrassi, which was on Noggin, getting that bag. In 2006, he decided to get into music. He dropped his first mixtape ever called Room for Improvement. In 2009, he dropped his classic mixtape So Far Gone. Right after that, he gets the attention of Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne signs him to YCMB. Now, leading up to Control, things seem to be pretty peaceful between the artists, right? No problems, no beef, no nothing. Drake brings Kendrick Lamar on his album Take Care, features him on the track Buried Alive. Kendrick goes into a crazy story talking about him meeting Drake and just dealing with fame. After that, he brings him on the Take Care tour with A$AP Rocky. When it comes to J. Cole and Drake, they didn't really have a relationship at this time, but J. Cole recently said on his new podcast Inevitable that he first discovered Drake on MySpace, was wondering who's this R&B guy, right? But then he actually inspired the warm-up tape because once he heard So Far Gone, he was like, yo, my deal with Jay-Z's not done and I gotta step my game up, right? So he dropped the warm-up, bada bing, bada boom. Now when it comes to J. Cole and Kendrick, they were actually really cool. I think J. Cole seen Kendrick Lamar perform somewhere and actually wanted to sign him. I don't know if he told him that or not, but J. Cole actually had a session with Dr. Dre where he told Dr. Dre about Kendrick Lamar, and Dr. Dre eventually signed Kendrick Lamar. Now I don't know if those things are related, but just something cool to know. Now in 2013, J. Cole dropped Born Center. Kendrick Lamar was even featured on there. He was on the record Forbidden Fruit. Right after Born Center, Kendrick Lamar decided to pop out on Big Sean's Hall of Fame album where he dropped his verse on Control. Shout out to Big Sean, shout out to Jay Electronica, but Kendrick Lamar took the spotlight because he called out all of his peers, every single one of them, by name. Now to me, Control was needed. Everyone was brother, and Kendrick Lamar said, yo, do not forget that when it comes to rapping, it's a sport. There's a lot of competition. Everyone was rapping at the time. So Kendrick Lamar had to make it clear, yo, I'm the best lyricist. And Drake, he was a big artist at the time, but he's singing and rapping, right? So Kendrick Lamar just wanted to make it clear, I'm the best lyricist in the game. If you want to question it, let's go ahead and step in the booth. Now, as I said, hip hop went into a frenzy. There was rappers that weren't even mentioned on Control that felt like they needed to get in the booth and defend their pen. Just cuz. Every rapper that was mentioned on it, they had their responses, but ultimately they didn't take it serious.
I think hip hop need this shit, man.
I knew what it was for hip hop culture.
Yeah, but he wasn't coming at him in a disrespectful way. He's coming at him in a competitive way.
I didn't take it necessarily as a diss. Hip hop is competitive, but I am a competitor.